Chapter 13 opens with a beast coming out of the sea. This beast has the qualities of several animals. John could be making a reference to the beasts in Daniel's vision in Daniel chapter 7. Those beasts represent the Babylonian, Medo-Persian, Greek and Roman empires. The last beast mentioned in Daniel chapter 7, as well as the last part of the statue in Daniel chapter 2, is a prophecy in reference to the Roman Empire. Here in verse 1, we find that the beast has 10 horns, 7 heads, and each horn had a crown on it with a blasphemous name upon it. The beast out of the sea is obviously the Roman Empire. In chapter 17, the angel tells us what the symbols represent, including which emperor this beast who once was, now is not, and yet to come is. We are told that the 7 heads are 7 hills on which the woman sits. This is an obvious reference to Rome, known as the city on 7 hills. The 7 hills are also 7 kings or emperors. 5 had fallen, which is a reference to the 5 Caesars who had died by this time. Julius Caesar, Augustus, Tiberius, Caligula, and Claudius. 1 is, which is a reference to Nero, the current emperor at the time the book was written. Daniel had a dream about Nero in Daniel chapter 7 verse 8 and was given an interpretation that said he would displace 3 of 10 kings. This is a reference to Azizus being replaced upon his death by Somus, his brother, Aristobulus, the son of Herod, being entrusted with Lesser Armenia, and Agrippa parts of Galilee, Tiberius, Taraki, and Julius. The 7th emperor, we are told, is a future one who will only lead a little while. This is a reference to Galba, who reigned for 7 months during 68 to 69 AD. The 8th king is debatable, as there were 2 men who led for very short periods, Otho and Vitellius. Neither qualify as a powerful 8th king to carry out God's purpose. This emperor is more likely Vespasian, since Rome struggled through the reigns of Galba, Otho and Vitellius. Vespasian's reign represents a resurrection of the Roman Empire's power. Vespasian defeated most of Judea and sent his son, Titus, to destroy Jerusalem. Titus is the prince who was prophesied to come and destroy the city and sanctuary in Daniel 9:26. Next, we are told that the 10 horns are 10 kings. These are more than likely the leaders of the 10 provinces of Rome, which were Italy, Achaia, Asia, Syria, Egypt, Africa, Spain, Gaul, Britain and Germany. These prophecies allied themselves with Rome to make war against Jesus, who is the head of the body, the church. Initially, the entire Roman Empire was involved in persecuting the church, but they were ultimately unable to defeat the Lamb, because as we are reminded here, Jesus is Lord of Lords and King of Kings. Back to chapter 13. At the end of verse 2, we discover that it is Satan who gives the beast or Rome its power. As for the fatal wound that the beast suffered, there are a few possibilities. It could be a reference to Cestus Gallus's retreat and defeat at the hands of the Jews in Jerusalem. However, the spread of Christianity is more fitting. It mentions several times in the Bible that the gospel was spread around the world or Roman Empire. Christianity was advancing in Rome itself, as evident in the book of Romans and Philippians. Philippians tells us that some of the members of Caesar's own household had become Christians. Verse 14 tells us the beast was wounded by a sword. I believe this to be the sword of truth. The recovery of the wound then would be Rome's persecution of the church. As for worshipping the dragon and the beast, all of the Caesars claimed to be deity, and people had to proclaim that Caesar was Lord. As a matter of fact, when Pilate asked the chief priests if Jesus was their king, they replied, "We have no king but Caesar." In Acts 17 verses 5 to 7, the Jews once again confirm they have accepted Caesar as king. Thank you for watching this presentation that describes and identifies exactly who the beast of the sea is. I hope you found this information helpful. It certainly resonates with truth as we see all the pieces fit together perfectly with that 1st century fulfillment that covenant eschatology or preterism presents. God bless you.